Hey, what's up? It's Dave here from the Matt and Dave Show, thanking you for listening and reminding you to like, share, and subscribe if you like what you hear. I think you will, but I'm biased.
He's Dave. I'm Matt. And this is the Matt and Dave Show. Yeah, this is the Matt and Dave Show.
Oh, dude,
You're so wrecked.
I can't even like do.
And
I'm not even in a do mood.
You look like totally beat up.
I'm so beat up.
So beat up and full and tired.
I'm full. Really, honestly,
Is it just full?
I'm just so it's so weird. Like you wouldn't I've podcasted drunk. I've podcasted
While getting drunk.
While getting drunk in
Sure.
the process of being drunk.
Sick. You've
Sick?
podcasted sick.
Fine. I'm fine. I
But
mean, it
full
can be a
is-
little rough, but podcasting after you've eaten a heavy meal,
Yeah.
I can't.
Probably
Like,
doesn't help that we're sitting. If we were standing up, probably be a little bit better. You
oh,
could
God,
stand.
I can't even
you
imagine
can't.
standing up right now.
Doesn't
I
reach
could
that
stand. No, it'll.
Doesn't
it
reach
would
that
reach.
high?
Yeah, we could
All
do a standing podcast.
We should do that one day.
Yeah.
So then it'll be just a lot of, I gotta move around.
Do a thing like those assholes with standing desks, but standing podcasts.
Yeah, I love standing desks.
Yeah.
I love the desk. Yeah, the ones that you can actually like
Stand
shift,
up. Yeah, I know which
You
one you're
know?
talking about.
That way, like, because what I used to do is I used to like start the morning sitting down, check out my stuff, drink my coffee, and then like after lunchtime stand up. So because like after I eat and then I sit down all day, I feel like bleh.
How's
So I
that go
wanna
again?
Stand up, bleh.
Bleh.
So I want to stand up and like do my work.
Fair enough.
But yes, that I'm the exact opposite, I guess, of you. I
Oh,
don't want to
dude.
really want to sit after I eat a big meal. I want to stand.
I want to just sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm there too.
I want to nap.
I've been tired all day.
Yeah. So hi.
Hi. So I want to
We're going right in. We're doing
I
this.
want to quickly touch on a few things because
Please.
this week I got multiple messages after our last episode
Oh yes.
about mistakes or corrections or fill in the blanks that we needed.
Got it.
So first, I'll start with Daniel C.
Oh yes.
We're not gonna say last names.
Yeah.
Daniel C says that they are still making a Fantastic Beasts land or ride. It's just not going to be in Universal.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be with this third park that also has all the Nintendo stuff. I feel like this is something that we touched base on, but it was, I guess it was worthy of a text.
So is that official though? Like I
the Nintendo Land is official,
right.
but nobody seems to know exactly officially what's happening.
Yeah. 'Cause
I have not. The last I heard that they were going to put the Nintendo Land in Universal.
right.
Now
that's what I heard
know,
as well.
but now I know that they bought all this land over there across the street, and they're opening up a third park. So
you have heard the
can-
third park thing.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
put. You can,
I hadn't heard that.
like
yet.
you can put the pieces together and kind of figure out what's happening.
Right.
And we heard that there was going to be a Fantastic Beast land. I don't know, but so that's what we heard. The second thing comes to us from Jordan S.
Oh please.
And apparently the red Infinity Stone is the Reality Stone.
Oh yeah, but
So-
no, but it also had a different name. Like it
It
wasn't
was the Ether.
Yeah, the ether. It
Yeah,
was
the
the
ether.
ether. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was in like the Thor,
In
the
Thor,
Dark World.
Dark World. God.
But yeah, so that was pointed out to me after the show
Yes.
that the red Infinity Stone is.
I feel like we're like a newspaper issuing our corrections.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that because apparently we make a lot of mistakes and people.
Well, what did we
you know what,
say
though?
it was?
Here's the
though?
thing. Well, we didn't know. We were
Oh,
like,
then,
fuck
then
it, we
it's not
don't
a
fucking know.
mistake. It's
So
just
here's
a fucking I don't know.
That's why I said mistakes or filling in the blanks or
gotcha,
updates.
yeah.
And here's the thing: I feel like we need to be held accountable
I don't mind that.
because we're giving information. Also, it means that people are listening. So if people listen for our mistakes,
Oh yeah, dude. You can shit
So,
talk me all you want.
you know what?
Yeah.
I tell you what, listen to the show. I challenge you to find mistakes and then send us a Facebook message.
You won't. I don't believe you will.
I don't think I will either.
I don't think you have the brass cojones for that kind of work.
But the challenge has been extended.
Boom.
Let's see what they do. Now let's get this show over with because I was in the middle of watching an interesting documentary and some shit just happened and I got to get back
What
and
are you
finish
wa-
watching
What are
it.
you watching?
I'm watching that Identical Strangers.
Identical
Have you seen that
Strangers.
yet?
Is that the triplets one?
That's the triplets one.
Dude, we have talked about this on the show.
I don't remember talking about it on the show.
We did.
I remember talking about it this past weekend.
Yeah, no,
not on the show.
We've talked about it on the show.
I don't remember talking about it on the show. I do not remember talking about it on the show.
Oh, dude. I saw it in theaters.
Because it was in theaters?
Yes.
When?
Probably, I don't know, episode 6.
Find out what episode, because I'm calling shenanigans on that one.
No, we talked about it on the show.
I honestly don't think so, because the first time, like, I remember seeing it on Netflix, and then this weekend it came up, and people were, like, describing it to me, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
So I'm watching it at home right now. I'm just, the one brother just killed himself.
Yeah, it's so fucked
up. And that's where I left. Then you were like, hey, let's do this. And I was like,
fucked up.
Yeah, it will start out really cool. Like, I was like, oh, so glad for these guys.
And it's told very well.
It is told. So far, I still have about 30 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
it is told
you
very,
got
very
through
well.
the lion's share of it, but it's like they reveal the story very, very well, and you kind of think you know what's going to happen, and you're usually pretty right, but it's still like.
Well, the fact that they only interviewed 2 of the 3 brothers,
right, but they
and they keep saying he had or he was,
right, but they give you enough time and distance between the first 2 to where you don't know, like, if there's a lot of time and distance between them bringing in the third one to interview. You know what I mean? Like, they set it up very well. It's not like 2 brothers right out of the bat, and like, you know what I mean? Like, they interview the one, and then like later. It's like, isn't like 15, 20 minutes? No,
it's like right away. They talk about it like right away.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, no, they like start with the one, and then they talk about how he like went to college, and then he like met the friend who was like, you look like my buddy, let's go talk to him.
Right.
And then there's a second one. And then they, like, as soon as they're talking about, like, how they got along and how much fun they were having, and they couldn't believe it.
Right, and they had the interview in the paper.
Right,
and
then they have the interview in the paper, and then they go to this other person who we don't even know who the fuck she is.
Right.
And she says, oh, yeah, that looks like my brother, so-and-so.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was. So it was right away.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's told very interesting. And then like, there's layers. There's, it was interesting, and then it was like they were adopted, and how did this happen? And then they go to the agency, and then there's some like mystery. Like there's some like shadows, and you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But let's get back, because it was awesome, and they open up a restaurant, and everything's great, and then they meet their mother, and the mother has a drinking problem, possibly.
Yeah.
And their mother was kind of questionable. And then you find out about these other like twins that have found each other, and this guy's writing a story on these twins, and he finds the study, and where's the study? They were studying twins, but they didn't publish their study. What the hell happened? And
then it's they use the same agency,
and then like the string like keeps getting pulled and pulled and pulled, and everything like falls apart. It's amazing.
Great.
So
it's really good.
Identical Strangers on the streaming service that starts with an N.
Just say Netflix. You already said Netflix.
I know I did. I was trying to
just say Netflix.
Like every time we say Netflix, I feel like they should pay us.
Well, that's fine. We can say Netflix, and then we feel like they can pay us.
Yeah, but they won't.
I know.
So fuck them. I don't want to say Netflix.
All right.
That might be the one that I get rid of after Disney Plus comes out.
Oh yeah,
it might be.
All right.
We had a conversation about that this weekend, and I don't really remember how it ended, but I was less convinced.
So, what do you like? I think that's a very valid conversation to have, because we're reaching like the glut of streaming.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that I don't have now that I'd love to. Like, I'd love to have the CBS
All Access,
not for Star Trek. I mean, I'd watch it, but I want to get it for Twilight Zone. The new Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele is going to be on the CBS All Access, and it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, can you fucking give me a break?
What do you cut? Like, do you cut, like, what's the price? Have we added all, like...
I haven't added the price of what we're paying now for all of them. I mean, it's easier now that, I live with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
So we, like, split all that. I think I pay for Netflix, and she pays for
that's the
Hulu. I don't remember, but...
the perk of any relationship is divvying up your entertainment costs.
But, like, Hulu now is included... Not Hulu. Yeah,
no, it's Hulu with Spotify.
Is now included with Spotify, but it's the
Spotify
ad version.
Premium.
We don't... Which I have. I have Spotify Premium. I pay for 2 accounts.
Yeah.
But you get the ad version of
free,
Hulu,
which is like $6.99 a month.
Right.
Now.
But now, can you pay the difference to get the upgrade? See, that's what I don't know yet. Because if I can, because we have the ad-free Hulu now, so if I can upgrade, like, I'll just transfer everything over and pay the couple of dollars for Hulu.
Sure.
But I've got Hulu, I've got Prime, I've got Netflix, I've got HBO.
Right.
HBO Now.
Oh, see, I don't have HBO now.
Yeah, I have HBO Now. What else do I have? I think those are the only ones that I pay for.
I have Netflix.
Yep.
I have Amazon Prime, which I would have
Sure.
regardless.
And that's my thing. Like, I feel like I'm not paying for streaming with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have that
Which is smart on their part.
on their part. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just going to be a thing that I
So
have.
Amazon's not gonna be one that's gonna get canceled.
Yeah. I have ad-supported Hulu. I have the paid ad one, like the $6.99 a month.
Okay. So you have the ads.
Yeah,
in
I have
Hulu.
the ads one.
Sure.
Yeah, I have ads Hulu.
Okay.
And I think that might be
Do you have
it.
Spotify? The premium Spotify?
I don't have this premium
Oh,
Spotify.
okay. All right.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I've got like a couple of terabytes of music.
Mhm.
I do have some stuff on Spotify that I like to listen to, but not enough to pay for it.
Does the ad version of Hulu have ads in the middle of movies?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't watch a lot of movies on Hulu.
Oh, I do.
I watch
There's a lot of
I watch
movies
a
on
lot
Hulu.
of like Hulu's for like my like when I watch Letterkenny, I watch Letterkenny on Hulu.
Right. See, I watch. I also have Vudu and Crackle.
Right, but you don't pay for those.
I don't pay for those. Those
Right.
those are ad heavy, so they're
Right.
that's how you pay for it. That's
Same,
how they pay for
I
it.
use the NBC app as well.
I don't use the NBC app.
Oh, well, I also have access through my personal cable subscription, wink, to be able to unlock all the features of the ads, all the channel apps.
Sure.
Because
So like
I
CW
have
and all
Wink
that.
a cable subscription.
Right.
Right.
Right. As do I. I really should take advantage of those.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because
Yeah.
what else are you, Wink, going to do with that cable subscription for apps? Because you, Wink, don't even know what an app is, really.
I have the unwinked version of cable.
Oh, you still have cable?
I do. I have basic, yeah.
Oh, then yeah,
It
dude,
comes
just do
with,
it.
comes with my for my internet.
Oh,
I have to. It's almost like I have to have cable to have internet.
Yeah,
It's weird, but
yeah.
it might be free because of the internet. Because I don't pay for it. I pay for my internet, and I think the cable comes with it.
Yeah.
But it's the basic. Like I get like channels. What?
Actually,
like
I
2
think
through
I think
70.
Yeah. I think you're. But do you pay for the? I don't know. You should be able to do it.
I don't know. Well, I think so. Yeah, sure. I've got my password for my internet and all that.
Yeah, see if it
stuff,
works.
So, yeah, I'll see if it works.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just ad supported.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apps, and you could once you have the cable subscription,
Mm-hmm.
you totally have like access to way deeper
Yeah.
catalogs of shit.
I'm just finding Netflix not to be necessary much anymore because of the emphasis they put on the original content. And sometimes the original content sucks. And go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, but like that's with anybody. Like anybody's
Sure.
gonna have original content that sucks.
Absolutely. Like Hulu or Amazon has original content that sucks.
Yeah.
But they have a lot more content to offer
Yeah.
of stuff that I want, like with the classic movies or movies I haven't seen in a while or movies I've never seen, which is one of the reasons why I like HBO is because there's a lot of newer released movies that premiere often. So like right now, like Tag is a movie that I missed in theaters. I want to see Tag.
Did you miss it?
I did. I wanted to see it. I heard it's pretty funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had heard not good
Oh,
things
no, I
about
heard it was
that
pretty
movie.
funny.
Oh, wow.
Like Rampage is on there right now. That's a movie that you said was fun.
It's
Like,
fun.
You know, it's part of my
Yeah.
subscription now. It's on there. I
Yeah.
can watch it on my TV, and that's great.
All right.
And Netflix just doesn't do that much anymore. Like I don't see a lot of the movies they have come out onto their service are movies that I saw in the theaters already. So I don't really need to see them.
See,
And then the original content, once Stranger Things is done, I'm really not getting involved in anything. Like there's a lot of great documentaries and things, but I'm not going to pay. What is it up to now? $14 a month?
13 a month, yeah.
Did they just jack it up to $12.99, $13?
I think so, yeah. I think it's 13.
So I don't use it enough now. I find myself using Amazon and actually Hulu a lot more than I'm using anything else.
See, I'll still dig into Netflix. Like I like their content. I like their like cooking content as well, of which they have a fucking insane amount of like good like
Sure, I know you
well,
nailed it.
I do
Nailed it
I
is
nailed
great.
it. Salt, fat, acid, heat.
Yeah.
Chef's Table.
Sure.
Like all of that is just it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I like Glow a lot. I'll watch
Yeah.
it for Glow.
Mhm.
They have enough to hold me.
So they have enough to hold me now, but with what's happened recently, I wonder if Netflix is trending backwards with the cancellation of One Day at a Time, which was a huge favorite, kind of like a darling, if you will.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it came out of nowhere, but people loved it.
Yep.
It doesn't get talked about a lot.
Nope.
There's not a lot of social media chatter about it.
Yep.
But people absolutely love to watch it.
Yeah.
And now they've canceled it after 3 seasons. And and look at what happened with all the Marvel shows. And I don't know what the business back end deal of that was, but I stopped watching Daredevil 4 episodes into this last season because they were they canceled all of the other ones.
Yeah.
The Punisher came out, and I said, you know what? I'm going to wait to see. And a week after it came out, they canceled The Punisher. Nope, no thank you. New season of Jessica Jones comes out, I'm not going to watch it. We talked about that before. We don't have to go down that.
Yeah,
but so my point is, they're canceling. They're carnivaling me right out of a subscription.
Interesting.
That's how I feel.
But they're all over 3 seasons.
Exactly. Which proves my point.
I don't think that proves it.
It does. No. They're not over 3 seasons. They're ending. Daredevil was only on season 3.
I see what you're saying.
When did they cancel One Day at a Time?
Yeah, I thought your rule had to be 3 seasons. It has to be more than 3 seasons.
It has to be more than 3 seasons now. That's the Netflix.
Your old rule
addendum.
was 3 seasons. No, your old rule was 3 seasons. You lying sack
My
of
old
shit.
rule. Hold on. Let me tell you what's happening, because it's gonna make you laugh. The Carnival rule has to be renewed for a 3rd season, right? My Netflix Marvel addendum has to have 3 seasons before I'll watch it. So the Carnival rule was 2 seasons,
and then you'll watch
renewed
it.
for a 3rd.
Yeah.
Once it got renewed for a 3rd, then I would watch it. But now the Marvel Netflix addendum has to have at least 3 seasons.
It has at least 3 seasons.
Right, exactly. But now it's been canceled. So now I'm good. I don't need to watch it.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Absolutely nothing.
What is wrong with you? What?
Look, we all have our little idiosyncrasies. I mean, there's plenty of shows I can watch that are more than 3 seasons.
You're like this weird half Abed.
Truth. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'll wear that crown proudly. Thank you.
3 seasons-ish if you feel like it. Renew
Right?
the cape.
Maybe I'll just change it to 4 seasons.
4 seasons. 4 seasons in a movie.
Really, what I should. Yeah. Really
3 seasons with an option for a 4th.
I mean, look what happened. But seriously, how do you determine whether or not you should cancel stuff? Seriously, it can't be the numbers anymore because
does it spark joy?
Because the numbers are. I don't believe the numbers are accurate enough.
You know what's funny?
Look what happened with Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Dude, when you said that, I thought you were talking about us canceling a service, not a service canceling a show.
Okay.
When you said those words, that's why I was like, what is it? What was the exact quote you said?
I don't know. Go back and listen to it. I have no fucking idea.
Okay, fair enough. But you're like, what are the rules for you to cancel something?
Yeah.
When you said that, I thought you were talking about what are the rules for us?
Mm-hmm.
What are the requirements for us to cancel a subscription?
Right.
But you had intended it. What are their rules for canceling
a show?
A show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
That's
go right to that. Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's very fascinating.
What should be the rules for canceling a subscription?
Yeah.
I'm coming at strictly from. There are 2 things that I think of. I'm already suffering from media overload.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Well, yeah, because you fucking consume media like a fat man consumes cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
And I know that speaking as a fat man. And then I also look at it from the fiscal side of things.
Yes.
But I don't think that we're spending that much on streaming services. It depends. I don't think Disney's said how much theirs is going to be yet.
Yeah.
But I would imagine it's going to be somewhere.
Did they say it was going to be ad-supported or no?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Know.
I think Disney. Come on.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if it was more than Netflix. I think it's going to be cheaper than Netflix. I think you'll probably see it hover around
10,
between 10 and 11. I think that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
But with what they're going to have, they're going to look. They've even come out and said they're going to have the entire Disney catalog available. Every Disney movie out of the vaults on the streaming service.
Yeah.
You've got Marvel shows. You've got Star Wars shows.
Yeah,
you've got
dude.
Disney shows.
Yeah.
You've got Lucasfilm. You've got Fox now because that
Yeah.
deal should close this week, I think.
Yep, I believe so.
So you got Fox. You got Disney. You got Buena Vista.
Yeah, all of it.
Miramax too, right?
Because
they bought Miramax, didn't they?
No.
Yeah. That's why the Weinstein started the Weinstein Group, because they sold Miramax
Oh,
to Disney.
yes.
So like, there's all of this stuff that's just gonna be on Disney. Marvel, all that stuff is gonna be on Disney. So, I'm loving Hulu because Hulu has all of the television shows I watch. The Masked Singer I don't get to watch, and they did renew it for a second season, I heard.
Oh yeah, that thing was like a runaway hit.
I can't believe I think it was because I purposely kept my head in the sand about that show because I didn't want anybody's ideas or guesses to spoil it for me.
Sure.
So I really stayed away from I didn't look anything up. I didn't look up the day after or interviews with these
Sure.
people. I just was like, I don't want to know anything about anybody because the half of the fun of the show is me guessing.
Sure.
And I was about 50% on the show, by the way. I think we talked about that.
We didn't.
So
but now we did.
yeah, so Hulu's got that. It's nailed it. Is on Netflix, but like making it with Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Like that NBC show. Like all the NBC shows are on Hulu.
Yeah.
Until we get to the point where.
Or
it's
the
on
NBC
wherever.
app.
The NBC. There you go. See, there
Yeah.
you go. But all of the the most recent run shows usually end up on Hulu for most of the networks except for CBS. So I'm just suffering from just a flood of media, and I can't handle it. So what am I using the most? Once Game of Thrones is over, though, I might not have HBO anymore.
Yeah, I don't have HBO. I've never had any real inkling to get HBO. I think the missus got it for a while.
Yeah,
because she wanted to watch. I don't remember what she wanted to watch, but she had it. We had it, never used it.
Right.
Game of Thrones is going to be one of those things that I want to watch.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pay HBO to do it. I'm just going. Yeah,
you'll
I'll either
else.
buy the DVDs or figure out a different way.
You know where you can get the DVDs?
I don't know, Matt. Where can I get the DVDs?
The library.
I can imagine the backlog for those things being checked out is insane.
Probably now. Yeah, we're getting closer to probably more season 6. What season are we going into?
I've no. Is it 8?
I think it's 8.
Aren't
Okay,
you
so
all
season
motherfuckers
7.
on 8.
I think it's only I don't know. You know what? The last season is probably the one that you're going to have a hard time finding because people are going to go back. Even today, the girlfriend was like, let's just watch the last season.
I don't understand. Rewatching the last season of something that you previously watched.
Because you forget. You forget a lot. We were talking about it today. I was like, where is so-and-so? And what were they doing? And why are they doing this? How did they get together?
Yeah.
No, I mean to get together, how do they meet face-to-face? How did that happen? I forget. I remember, season 1 and 2 and, where, the journey. But, the last one was so long ago. And you saw it once.
Yeah.
It was, 3 years ago, it feels like, the last season came out. I think it was 2 years ago. It's been a while, though.
I don't know what it is, but I retain all of it.
You retain a lot of shit, and probably because you consume so much.
I don't get it.
Well, you forget a lot of other things. So
I forget tons of practical things.
Maybe you're dumping things from your mind so you have more space for media consumption.
I do. I really because the missus will be like, "Oh man, let's just watch the last 2 episodes of the last season." I'm like, "Why? Here's what happened. Da 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 da. They're doing this. They're doing this.
You know what?
Let's move.
Maybe this is a whole new podcast that you should do called Catch Up with Dave.
Da 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 da.
That's what it is.
I always do it in 5.
And you just you hit the bullet points it's a half-hour show.
Yeah.
All right, this show's coming back out. Let's recap Happy season 1 before season 2 comes out.
Oh, I'm so stoked
I know
about
you're stoked for that one. Here's what happened on Happy season 1. This.
Yeah, I still remember
Boom.
Happy season 1 very clearly.
There you go. Here's what happened on One Day at a Time season 3. But they're not going to do season 4. Oh. Did you see Lin-Manuel Miranda got all hey, NBC, heard you like to pick up shows that people love but nobody else,
Yeah.
but the networks don't want.
Sony was shopping it around.
As they should.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a firm believer that if you can prove that there is a built-in fan base,
Yeah.
Especially now where we live in a society where people don't want to be creative, they want to just regurgitate and get well-known properties that they know they're going to get some money out of.
Yeah.
Then do it. If you get the property, you can shop it around. Please do it. It'll be interesting though, because this would be the first one if it got picked up somewhere else. Because Netflix made a habit of like picking
rescuing
up stuff,
shows,
right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't this be the first one that somebody took away from Netflix?
Rescued from Netflix. I think so.
And that's where I'm like, if we're in this, I want to go.
Like, if it ends up on, like, Fox,
it's going to kill
rescuing.
Yes.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. It's like,
talk about losing your narrative.
They took. That's true. That is true. There's no way it would end up on Fox, though.
No, but you know what I mean, though. Like,
yeah.
Like really losing that narrative, losing that voice. Like, that is very, like, that's an iconic Netflix thing. Like, they were the person that were like, you want that? We're going to fucking make that for you. You want some more Gomer Pyle USMC? We're going to give you the
And now
Gomer
they're
Pyle.
not really giving us the things that we want. They're taking them away and, kind of watering things. I mean, look what happened to Arrested Development. The first full season on Netflix wasn't that great. The remade version, like the remix, where they actually edited differently, so it's more
episodic.
It's more episodic and more of in the narrative. The first 3 seasons were
what's that term? Rashomon?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Rashomon.
And then they tried to do it better for the previous season or the new season, the first part of the new season, and it's like
I liked it.
Not so great. I haven't watched the new one yet that just dropped last week.
Oh, did it drop last week?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh,
yeah, it's on now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'll watch that too.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that Disney Plus will probably come out sometime in June. I think they're waiting for Fox to kind of come through. I think they're probably already have gone through the catalogs and said, okay, this is what we're gonna have.
Yeah.
So these are the movies that we'll put on there. I think it'll probably be sometime right around the beginning or like the first quarter of summer is when we'll see the Disney streaming service, and I'm excited for it. I know I will get it right away.
Yeah, I mean they've earned it.
They have.
They have earned my money.
I agree.
The DC streaming service has not earned my money.
I have no desire for the Disney streaming service. No,
the DC.
I'm sorry, the DC streaming service. I have no desire for it. As much as I love Batman, don't care about the Titans show. Don't care about Doom Patrol. Probably because I haven't watched the Titans show. Don't care about. I don't care about any of the things, the original content they have coming out. And we live in a society now where we want to binge.
Yes,
and we can't binge because they're releasing new episodes every week on their streaming service.
Oh yeah.
And they do that probably because they don't have enough content to keep you engaged fully.
Yeah, to justify a price.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I get it.
DC streaming service, think about that. Like, what is that really? That's not a lot of content.
No,
it's a lot, but not compared to the others.
No,
and
I mean,
I'm definitely not going to. I have no desire for the DC streaming service.
Yeah, there's nothing
of course,
like.
It also helps that I have every single Batman anything on Blu-ray.
Dude, I don't have every single Batman. I don't have any Batman thing.
You don't need them. You just borrow them from me.
Well, you know what I mean, though. But
that's not true. I wouldn't let you borrow anything.
No, I understand that. I think I may have like one or two, but I'm not gonna like. I'm not gonna use the DC streaming service for that. Like that, there's just not enough hook for me yet.
There's not yet
for that. Like
maybe in like 2-3 years.
Actually, you know what? And you know what else I think might have hurt them for that is how good the Umbrella Academy was. Like a good team-based, like, comic book show thing. That's like that would be kind of what the Doom
Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol would be like, or some of the Titans, like that. Like, I think that dug into it. Like, I don't need to see that.
I just don't think DC has their thumb on the pulse of whatever they're trying to do.
I agree.
I just don't think they do. Like, people don't like their big thing on promoting Titans was let's get Robin to say fuck Batman.
Which was stupid.
Which was stupid. Like, I don't care enough about that. Like, when Dick left Bruce, like, it was pretty pretty bad, but it like I don't need an edgy dick. I don't need edgy teens. Like I just not that kind of edgy. That's not the way that I would go about it. So
Yeah. Hold on. So the other one I'm actually looking forward, and yeah, it is. It's on Amazon Prime. So, The Boys. Have you ever read The Boys?
Mm-mm.
All right. They announced this a little while back. I think Seth Rogen's producing it.
Oh, that's a movie though.
Is it a movie? I thought it was a series.
The Boys, or Good Boys.
No.
The Boys. Okay,
No,
what is
no,
The Boys?
not Good Boys.
Okay.
So the Boys is basically take the DC comic book universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but make every superhero super fucked up.
Okay.
Like the most fucked up version of themselves. Just
Sure.
these like shitty, sexist, just drug using, people drunk on their own power, not giving a shit.
I'm with you.
Like fighting a bad guy, and he just happens to kill like 2 people in the process of doing
No
like,
big deal.
You're like, ah, shit, sorry, dude, bye. Doing the work, like caught up in their own hype.
Kind of like the Superman from Man of Steel.
Yes. Or like the Watchmen.
So basically how the DC universe is now. Yes, okay,
Yes. Yeah, but worse.
go. Okay.
So the American government creates a counterbalance to that called the Boys.
Okay.
And the Boys are like just this group of like special ops type of people-ish that are they exist to police superheroes.
So it's superhero police.
Yeah.
Not feeling it.
But real fucked up.
Not feeling it.
Like real fucked up.
Listen, you have to be able to sell me on the idea before you can throw in real fucked up.
It's real fucked up though.
Because
it's
there's a lot of
gritty
fucked
and
up stuff out
shitty and terrible and real. Like I have some of the comic books if you want to borrow them. They're good.
All right. Are they individual issues?
Yeah.
You don't usually buy individual issues.
I don't, but I really like this
All
series.
right, I'll check it out. Give me like the first 2.
All right,
And
I'll give you some of them.
Yeah, give
They're-
me the first 2, and then I'll see if
like
I like
it's
them.
hard R.
All right. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I'm past the point though where that matters to me.
Oh, see, I like.
I
a
feel
good
like I'm
hard
too
R.
old to care about
Oh,
that anymore.
I
Like,
enjoyed the hard R.
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's great. I enjoy it, but it's not a selling point anymore.
Yeah, like there's an entire episode where you see like the superheroes and the supervillains all team up. They're like, "Yes, the global terror has returned, and we shall put aside our differences to go and fight it. We will stop the alien invasion." Yes, and they have this big symbolic thing, and there's cameras, and then they all fly off to this private island and just start fucking the shit out of each other. It's their like 1 day off retreat. They make it up every like 2 years or so. They fake an alien invasion so they can go to a private island and like just do an insane amount of coke and blow off steam. And there's an entire comic book
The
dedicated
good guys and the bad guys.
the good guys and the bad guys.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'll read it. I'm just not impressed. I don't know.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, dude, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I think just because I've seen there's like with the Umbrella Academy and with like Kick Ass and all these different takes on the superhero genre. What you just described to me sounds like stuff I've already seen before. Like
Interesting.
okay, I mean,
Interesting.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
If it's a good story, that's all I really care
Yeah,
about.
I like the story.
That's fine.
And so there's an actual story on top of all that. I'm
Sure.
just giving you like the actual
Yeah.
world they work in.
Yeah. Like the idea of the Superman horror movie. That's interesting.
That looks
That's
so
an
cool.
interesting take.
What's the name of that again?
Brightburn. Brightburn.
Is it Brightburn?
Brightburn. Yes.
That looks fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it does. It really does. That's an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Something I haven't seen before. The same origin story told from a completely different genre.
Yeah, like what if the picked on and every
you-
fucking picked on kid feels that.
Yes,
Like if you would give them
and that's the thing too. Like you can do like what if Superman was evil, and we've seen that.
yeah.
But this is like what if Superman was a fucking like
Sociopath.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Like a fucking sociopath,
But
like a fucking like
that's-
crazy person.
It's like the good son and Superman had a kid.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like the
Yeah.
good. It's like
the bad
good,
seed.
the good Superman.
Yeah, the good Superman.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, or actually, it would be boy because he's a kid,
Yeah.
which makes me. And I know how you feel about creepy kids.
but it's
Ours.
I don't think it's creepy. I don't think it's creepy at all. And I think it's a very interesting choice in a movie because I think it can exist as a treatise on people like kids that find power, way too young to appreciate what the hell it is. Like, You know, if somebody had come up to me and told me I was a loser and pushed me down, and I had the ability to punch through a bus, I don't have the maturity or the wherewithal to understand that. I'm going to fucking put my fist through that kid's head and fucking play with his entrails just to fuck with the other kids.
And somebody who was picked on, I can tell you that I would fucking do that.
Exactly. So is it
as much as like I have a moral compass that points in the right direction?
Yes.
You know, you push a kid down so often,
right.
they're gonna eventually push you back.
Yeah. No, I complete, like, you know, without that, whatever compass it is hasn't set yet. I'm curious. It almost seems like an indictment on giving children too much power, or like them discovering power early on. Like however you want to, whatever bullshit you want to put onto that. Some people put guns onto that. Some people put sex onto that. Some people will put whatever they want. But it seems like that version of it, like a hyped up version of that, and whatever morality tale you want to infer from it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing that movie is how the parents are portrayed.
Yeah.
Because
it's an interesting choice in casting too.
Yeah, well, Elizabeth Banks and the dude from The Office.
The dude, right? The dude
the
from
guy who plays
Jenna's ex.
Yes, Jenna's ex. Okay, that would be Pam.
Whatever.
Pam's
Roy.
ex.
Roy. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Roy from the two very like comedic-ish actors.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, the first thing I ever saw, I'm sorry, I don't remember the dude's name. I'm sure I'll give a text about this week.
Yeah.
But the dude from The Office who played Roy, like the first thing I remember seeing him in was The Replacements. Do you remember he played the deaf tight end?
Guy.
He's the deaf tight end in Replacements. You didn't know that?
He's the deaf tight end in The Replacements.
Yes.
You just blew my fucking mind, dude. You just blew it.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
I didn't until you said, "Did you see The Replacements?" And then, like, it was like a slot machine. Like, everything just fucking clicked
ding, ding.
right into place. Holy shit. It was like when I figured out Foggy was in the fucking Mighty Ducks. Like,
we can bring that up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I don't know. And then click, and then it just clicks. And you see this line of things that just instantly line up for me. Like, my eyes go big, my pupils dilate.
Right.
And all these synapses are just like finally talking to each other for the first time. Like, yo, dog, you didn't know that? Oh shit, we've been sitting on this one for a couple decades. Well, bro, you never come over anymore. Oh, that's how it is in Dave's head. If you were ever curious how my brain worked.
Sounds like a pretty friendly place.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting choice in casting, but
David Denman, by the way.
Thank you. Yes. I think one of the things that, or at least in Superman lore, one of the things that really has kept him the way that he was his parenting. And
yes.
Maybe that was one of the reasons why
it's the nature versus nurture argument.
Why they put him in Kansas, as opposed to like a big city, because he was a farm boy and good all-American boy upbringing, and when you have if you're going by Smallville, when you have Bo Duke as your dad.
Sure.
Sure, you're running moonshine, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're still fighting.
But you're wholesome.
You're still fighting for the cause.
You're wholesome when you do it.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
and I
just a good old boy.
Right. Never mean no harm. I mean, that's the whole Superman argument. Is it's the nature versus nurture. Like, that's what that whole comic book is about.
And that's what the Identical Strangers is about too.
Yeah.
That's all about that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's nature versus nurture. Yeah,
nature versus nurture. Like how they're all the same. They were born. They were
genetically
given to three different family types.
Yeah.
You had your upper class, your middle class, and your low, your blue collar, right? And you say dirt poor, I say blue collar. But they still they have the same they have the same sense of humor. They have the same laugh and the same things that they like, and the way that they think about things, and then all of a sudden it's like,
man, it was such a good movie. The one you're talking about.
Oh, the Identical Strangers.
The Identical Strangers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it up.
Yeah.
So to stay on the
Shrimp. Yep.
Shrimp. Let me try that again.
Oh, please, by all means.
I loved it back in the day when we first started this, when we were on episode 12.
Oh God.
As opposed to episode 94,
I don't remember
whatever we are. You used to actually go through and like, oh yeah, I'll just make a mark and I'll just go ahead and edit this out.
No.
And now you're just like, fuck it.
Yep.
Whatever.
It's authentic.
Yeah,
It's authentic.
Matt and Dave.
It's our true authentic
Authenticity.
selves. Authenticity.
We're all
Now,
about authenticity.
Every once in a while, I'll go through and I'll make an edit.
Sure.
Every once in a while, if it's something really egregious,
Yeah.
or like my wife comes home, the dogs go ape shit, or
Yes,
something like that.
yes.
Like if it's like an immersion breaking
Yeah.
thing, like I rip a tasty fucking fart in the middle of it or something like that. Like
Has that ever happened?
it hasn't. It hasn't.
I was gonna
but
say,
just to let you know, I would edit that out.
No, leave that one.
Yeah.
See, that's
I'm gonna do
shit
it right
that would
now,
live
and
in
you're
there.
never gonna know.
They wouldn't.
They
I
would.
would.
You would
unfortunately.
absolutely know.
Woo.
Um,
Anyway, so continuing our conversation about really fucked up things.
yes, please.
I finished watching, and I don't know, you probably haven't watched it since you don't have HBO. I finished watching the Leaving Neverland documentary.
Oh yes, I have heard.
Have you watched any of this?
I have not watched any of it, but I have heard a bunch of different hotter takes on it.
Okay, so the first thing I'd like to ask you.
And I've heard some of the clips from it as well.
Sure, obviously. First thing I'd like to ask you is like, what was your take before Leaving Neverland? And I always want to say Finding Neverland.
Yeah.
Before Leaving Neverland, what was your take and feeling on Michael Jackson?
You know, it's tough. Like, I grew up and I was like, yeah, Michael Jackson, high five and shit. Then you're like, oh, he's been accused of some heinous shit. But then you're like, oh, but he was acquitted. And then, oh, he's dead. Which, like, so on the scale, and this could just be my scale, but I think this is most human scales. Like, especially if an artist is like the definition of celebrity and like iconography,
And you will never see that type of celebrity ever again.
Yeah, no. So you're like, it's accused and it dips. The accusation dips. But I think people really are just looking for any excuse to validate how they originally felt. Any excuse they can. Like, if they can get back there, they will accept a lot of crumbs from people. And I think the not guilty verdict was enough for people to want to go back to being like, yeah, well, we did our due diligence. I trust the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Maybe at least neutrality.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where I was with it. It was like, yeah.
Well, I think if you go back to I want to say the first accusation, the first one he did he even go to trial on that one? It was the second one. The second one he was arrested and went to trial for.
Yeah.
Like, you had all of these witnesses come out for the defense. Macaulay Culkin being, the number for
the
me,
perennial,
like that was the one.
Michael
like,
Jackson defender.
Listen, if Macaulay Culkin says he's cool, then he's cool.
Yeah.
But then you have all the jurors coming out and talking about like, yeah, they didn't provide enough evidence to really show us that he did this. Like, it's just one person's word against the other.
Yeah,
There's just nothing to corroborate it.
Yeah.
And everybody who says this, they've come out. It's just difficult.
And that's the other thing too, is like the court of public opinion and the court of law are two vastly different places to make an argument.
And back in 1995, 94, when this happened, 93, like the court of public opinion was much different than it is today.
Very much
because there
different.
was no social media.
Nope.
There was internet.
Yeah.
But there was no social media.
No.
So you didn't have this forum for people to discuss it and throw their ideas out,
Yeah.
and then be able to convince a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was basically like confined to your local media source and your circle of people that you talk to.
Whatever you talk
Work,
to.
friends, social clubs,
The
hobbies,
circles were
whatever.
much smaller back then.
Much, much smaller.
Yeah.
Now the circle is fucking wide open.
Yeah. But like in court, like proving beyond like the statute, a reasonable fucking doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, not like doubt, but like beyond that, proving in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt that is a thing. And I think it was criminal court, not civil court, because the rules are different in civil court. If you're suing somebody for something, as O.J. Simpson had found out.
Yeah, you can be proved innocent, or you could be found innocent, not proved innocent, but found innocent.
Yes.
And still be held liable in a civil court.
Right, because the rules are different as to what like evidence can be. I'm not a lawyer and I won't pretend to be, but there's a difference. There truly is a difference. So, but like, and it's hard. It's hard to make, purposely the system is set up to where it's hard to prove somebody did something.
Agreed.
Which is why everybody gets their fucking ducks in a row. And even then, it's still like a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
You got to convince a bunch of people that this is the truth as you see it.
Mm-hmm.
I rest my case.
Right.
So, but, people were like, oh, system worked.
Sure.
Like, we did our thing. We tried. We presented the best. They presented the best case they had. This guy's a fucking, like, you get one shot at this dude. They presented their best case, and they did it. So people are like, well, that's it. We're good. And then he died. So what do you, like, when you die, they elevate you. That's just the rules of celebrity. When you die, your stock goes up. You're looking at me like you disagree.
Well, you're painting this with a really, really broad brush.
I am very
and
much
Michael
so.
Jackson's history is very complex.
I understand
because
it's an hour show and we're on the end of it.
I know. But you can't just say, well, he was loved, he was accused, and then it was kind of dipped, and then he died. Then he was proven good because, like, there were all kinds of weird shit that he did. Like,
there is,
like, look at his childhood. Then you look at, hanging out with Bubbles. Then all the kids marrying air quotes Lisa Marie.
Agreed.
Throwing
It's
his
weird.
like holding his baby out the window.
Here's the thing
all
with
these
that.
things.
But those are weird. Those aren't criminal, and that's just weird. And
Okay.
once you get painted with weird, it's a wide brush.
Right.
People will accept a certain amount of fucking weird.
Right.
Like marrying Lisa Marie on a whim and divorcing Lisa Marie, fine.
Mhm.
Whatever. Like, it's weird. The
Right.
dude's weird. He had a chimpanzee and he owned a place called Neverland, and he's fucking weird.
Right.
So dangling a baby out the window. Fucking weird.
Right.
All of this is weird.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like I existed in this kind of like neutrality. Like, I dug the work. Like, I won't stand here and say that the dude cool song, because the dude made a cool song.
Right.
But like, and I was able to be like, he's weird and he made a cool song, and the system did its job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think a lot of people were there. I really do.
Mhm.
And now, like, looking at it with, I'll call it 2019 eyes. You look at this with 2019 eyes, and it's a whole fucking different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're also, being the self-reflective person that I am, I'm like, is it a different ball game?
Mm-hmm.
Am I, do the things that I knew then change now?
Yeah.
Like, are facts different,
Mhm.
or is the perception different?
Yeah.
And I say that
Yeah.
because I was seeing something about John Wayne Bobbitt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, looking at his case now, with what I will call 2019 eyes,
Mm-hmm.
what a fucked up case that is. Like, nobody talked about, like, what an emotionally abusive and I think physically abusive asshole that dude was. Like,
Mhm.
why she cut off his fucking dick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was the fact that, like, she was the crazy woman that cut off his dick. Like,
Mhm.
that story would not go the same way today.
No, it wouldn't.
It would not go the same way today
No, it
at
wouldn't.
all.
Mm-mm.
But there's so many things that you go back and you look at and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that holds up. So from what I've seen from this, so you're asking me where I was at. So that was it.
Before,
he
right.
died,
Mhm.
and like, he got elevated, like, as everybody does when they die.
Okay.
Like, I mean, do you disagree with that? Like, people get a bump, they get a little death
no,
bump.
I think no. I don't think he got a bump at all. I mean, I think that he was Michael Jackson. I mean, I think that I don't think he had any more of a bump after he died.
Oh, I think he got
no.
a huge bump from dying.
I disagree 100,000% to that. I think he got a bump when he was proven innocent, and that was it.
Oh, dude,
I really, I think, in from my perspective, and remember, I worked in a music store for the time between pretty much the time between his last, almost the entire time,
right?
between his last accusation and when he beat that,
Right.
and up to the time he died. I was working in the music store when he died, and there was always jokes and talks. There were people there that would say, "Oh yeah, he's a child molester. We don't listen to him. That's fine." But I don't think that he got an extra bump when
I
he
think
died.
He did.
I mean, yeah, everybody, you cry. I mean, Prince, everybody, who liked fucking When Doves Cry, or like, oh, I've been the biggest Prince fan. I don't think that was the same case with Michael Jackson.
Oh, I think it was.
But that's not.
So we disagree on that.
That is, yeah, exactly. But that's not my point. That doesn't make
Yes.
that does
No.
not make a difference. It's more of like, where were you? What was your opinion of him before any of this happened? Before
Yeah.
you watched it? I had a different opinion of him before I watched the documentary. And going into the documentary, I was like, this is fucking, listen, the timing on this is bullshit, because now he's dead. He can't defend himself. There's been all these people that have come out and accused him, all these people who will back him up. I was one of the people like, listen, Macaulay Culkin, was not touched, and like, come on, if Macaulay Culkin
If you're gonna
says
take
he's
a shot
cool,
at a kid,
right?
that's the kid
That's
you take
the
a
fucking
shot
kid you
at.
take
Right.
a shot at. Like I know for a fact that he has some issues, and he felt like a little boy.
Agreed.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably why he. Then I'm thinking like when my son was this age, like he wanted to hang out with other little boys. Like he wasn't like the girls were just ew, like cooties.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's what like you hung out with your boys, like your guy friends, and you
Yeah.
like you played GI Joes and you watched movies and did all these things.
And I agree with you.
Sure,
on that.
yeah.
I was definitely in
So
that.
I go into this and I'm like, I'm fucking like, these people falsely accusing, and I'll hear what they have to say. Like, okay, so I'm listening to their stories, and their stories. I'm hearing them, and get through the part one. I'm like, okay, so they've told their stories, but I haven't seen any proof. I haven't seen any evidence. Why did they wait this long? Why did they both defend him in
the
court?
original Dwyer?
Well, they both defended him the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time, one of them was like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why would he say no? So then you're watching part two, and I was like, I need evidence. I need proof. I need something. And
Yeah.
even when they're telling their stories aren't really the same.
Right.
I mean, like, there's a pattern. Like,
They're
talk
cousins.
about, yeah, kind of. They talk about, not enough to prove what they're saying is correct, right? And somebody said, like, well, they didn't know each other beforehand. Like, we don't know that they didn't know each other beforehand. Right. And they even talk, like, they did meet a couple, like, once or twice, but we don't know that they didn't talk before this documentary, right?
Yeah.
Because Wade Robinson, who's one of the guys who was one of the accusers here, and I'll say for the sake of argument and getting people pissed off, I will say victim.
Okay.
We'll say accuser/victim.
Okay.
He is like, I remember like seeing it, like I'm watching this, I'm like, that guy looks familiar. Where have I seen him before?
He's famous.
Like if he had some bleached blonde hair, I swear that I've seen him like in a video or like hanging out with NSYNC. And sure enough, he's the fucking choreographer for NSYNC and Britney and all those that like early millennium people, millennial people.
He's a good choreographer.
He's a good dancer. He's a good choreographer, which is how he, look, if you want to know his story about how he started and how he met Michael, I'll watch the movies. Watch the documentary yourself. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about here. This is more of like my reaction.
Yeah.
So
your hot take.
Yeah. So we're watching it. I'm like, well, he's kind of like famous, and like, why would he need to do this to get money? Like, just to make sense. And RL, the girlfriend, was like, yeah, I just don't understand why. Like, what are you getting out of this now? Like, he's famous. He was famous. He is famous. He's got money. He's done movies. He's worked with a lot of people. He's got a career. He's probably fine financially.
Like, this can't help him.
This can't help him. And I was like, yeah, well, some people just want attention, like
maybe, you can almost make an argument that this would hurt him in the industry that he's in.
Probably. Well, would it hurt him? I don't know. Like maybe with like the. I have theories on why somebody would do this if they don't need the financial side of it. Sure. I'm not going to go on about it here because it taps into another thing. It's controversial. I'd rather not spend the time.
And the only reason I said that is because like some of these communities can be very insular and
absolutely, 100%. So and I mean, like Macaulay Culkin and Corey Feldman even are like, oh yeah, well, you would never do something like this. And Corey Feldman too, I guess. Corey Feldman coming out and saying Michael Jackson was not a pedophile. A pedophile has a little bit of weight because he's the one always going, there are pedophiles in Hollywood. There's a circle. I was part of it. I was passed around. This bullshit. We need to do something. We need to speak up. And then he goes, well, Michael Jackson's one of those. It hurts the case.
It does. Absolutely.
So we get through the first one, and I'm still not convinced. So we start watching the second one, and I'm like, okay, somebody told me that it was when they both had kids, they realized like that's, oops, that was a mistake. It was bad. And so when you explain it like that, like, oh, you have a kid and you don't want to see it happen to them, so it's bad all of a sudden. Like,
yeah,
that doesn't do it for me. Like, I get it, yes, but that's not enough.
Okay.
So as I'm watching the second part last night, I'm like, yeah. And there was one thing in particular that I think it was, I don't even remember, it was during the documentary or with like the interview with Oprah that we watched. But there was a moment where one of them started talking about, they talk about like this thing like they loved Michael and they didn't see it as bad, the things that were happening.
All right.
They didn't. They loved Michael. He was their friend. They had this romantic interest in each other. They wanted, they wanted to please him.
Sure.
They wanted to be happy. They had a good time. He took care of their families. Like he really, he went to work on their mothers, the mothers as well, like the families, like took care of them, bought them houses, like all this stuff, like really made, showed a vulnerability to the mothers. So the mother, like their mother side came out to him, like, here's this lost little boy. He needs our family. He needs us. And that can really, that really kind of gets to you and plays with your emotions and pulls at your heartstrings. So they're talking about this and like, how when finally they went to court, like they didn't go to court to defend him. Like they weren't lying. They were scared for him and for themselves because they had been told, like, if anybody finds out, like, you'll go to jail forever. I'll go to jail forever. Our lives will be over. Everything will be over. Your families will be over. Everything. So that's kind of like they were protecting themselves and protecting him, but they didn't see it as wrong.
Yes.
And then they had a kid, and they said something very, very, it spoke to me. You don't hold your younger self in the same regard you hold your child.
Okay.
So meaning, like, I think my kid is a teenager.
Yes.
And I think of myself as a teenager.
Yes.
And there are some similarities between the two of us in the same age.
Absolutely.
And, some serious similarities. And I can see, like, in dealing with my teenager, talking to him, teaching him, trying to get him through it would be different from me going back and talking to myself. Like, if he were to make the same mistakes, if he makes the same mistakes as young Matt did, because I went by Matt back then, like it would be a different kind of a response from me.
Yes.
Young Matt, what are you doing, dude? Shut up, get your shit together, kick him in the ass,
right? Stop
acting a fool. My kid, it's that, but there's love, there's compassion, there's hugs, there's an understanding, there's a teaching, there's a worry. There's all of this stuff that you don't understand,
right?
If you're not a parent.
Yes.
And it's a much deeper. It's the responsibility and the fear of your child. You don't have the same regard for yourself as you do for your child.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So, like, if I were to, if Matt,
which is where I think the parental hypocrisy always comes in to play every generation.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
So when they said this, and it kind of made sense. Like they didn't see it as bad. They still don't see it as bad what they did. But if their kid did it,
right,
it would be bad.
Right.
So it probably is the right thing to do to speak up, to say, hey, this is a bad thing, and I need to come out and talk about it and say something about it. So it wasn't just that they had kids; it was the realization that it would be bad if it happened to them. It still wasn't bad that happened to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's a weird thing to realize, and
it really is.
Think,
it really, really is. And I didn't even think about it until last night, because even sometimes you think about like all the mistakes that you made in your younger years, and if you could go back and tell yourself like, listen, dude, it's gonna be fine, or don't worry about this, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yes.
Like that's exactly how I would say to myself. Like my kid, it's different. I would say those, but it would be in a different context. It would be a different way.
I think the and this is just a philosophical point which we can move the fuck on from. Like it's a very like you want yourself to make those mistakes because you making those mistakes has made you the person that you are.
Exactly.
And you don't want your kid to make those mistakes because you've already done the hard work.
Because I don't want him to go through that. I don't want him to feel that. You know,
it's the juxtaposition of loving yourself in spite of yourself and then wanting something better for someone you care about.
Right. And I'm responsible for my actions.
Yes.
I'm also responsible for his actions.
Yes.
So it's on my shoulders. It's up to me to teach him the right way. Yeah. I have to take that responsibility. There was really no responsibility when I was his age. Like, you just do what
you're responsible to yourself.
Yeah, you're responsible to yourself.
People are selfish.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids are even more selfish.
Teenagers are extremely selfish and stupid and inconsiderate in certain ways.
Yes.
And that's true.
All of that is very true.
Very true.
Yeah.
So to hear them talk about this, to hear them say this, it kind of opened my eyes to be like, you know what? I could see this. I could see that being the case. And that's a very good way to explain why you would do this.
Why you would wait.
Why you would wait.
Why everything waited. Why
Yeah.
there's no financial gain or anything like.
Right. Well,
the compulsion to tell their story to now.
Wade Robson did actually try to sue Michael Jackson's estate,
Oh, really?
and it was thrown out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They didn't touch on that very much. But like just seeing like this when you get towards the end of the second part and see like when he finally tells his family, like and it's really kind of weird. And there was a moment that I was like, "Come on, this is bullshit," because that's just too much of a fucking coincidence. His sister, Wade Robinson's sister-in-law, has a dream that Wade tells her that like he was molested by Michael Jackson, and like the brother tells him this. Like this is actually what happened.
Oh,
so
wow.
the sister-in-law has this dream. The brother tells Wade like that's what the dream was about, and then he like drops his head and says, "Yeah, it's true." Like that's how it comes out.
Oh, wow.
But to see like what happened to the families afterwards, and to actually see them when they're talking in the interview, they're talking about their families and whether or not they've forgiven their moms or talked to their moms, and you know when they say, just hearing them talk about like how they're not going to get over it, they're never going to get over it. They're very aware of this moment in time. There's a lot of attention on them because of this,
Mhm.
but eventually it will go away. But them having to deal with this, to live with this, to get
Will
over it,
always
will
be there.
never go away.
Yeah.
And the fact that you know they're cognizant of that really makes me want to believe them more. Do I believe them? I still don't know, but I think now I've given them the benefit of the doubt, and I can understand a little bit more. My mind has been opened up.
They've overcome a lot of your objections
They have.
to it. Yes.
They have.
It's
Like
not, you're not at full-blown truth, but
right where I was before, like I need proof, like show me
Yeah.
the proof. Where's
Yeah.
because this is all, and then it was like, oh, yeah, I think I maybe because I don't know, maybe because I'm older, more mature, maybe because I've been through a lot, I can understand why people would keep secrets and react the way they did, and it's like for me, if somebody did that to me, I'd fucking tell, like I'd say something,
right.
but I've never been through it, so I can't say
Right.
that.
Like you can,
And that
you
was
can
the-
say that,
right.
But you can't.
And that was
say
and that was the thing.
Yeah.
Like listening to their stories, it was like, you know what? I really can't say that I would do that because I've never been, manipulated or groomed in a way.
right.
Like I've never had anybody try to do that to me, so I don't know what my
I
reaction
mean,
would be.
that's got to be like fucking like crack cocaine to kids,
Mhm.
like fucking power. It goes back to the
Yeah.
same thing. It's power. It's
And
attention.
and exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Like when you give some, like it just as a kid, you think and you feel differently.
Yeah.
Like if that's how you're introduced, like that's your life. Like you have this big figure, this powerful image.
It's like if fucking Santa Claus came down and was like, "Yo, dog,
Exactly.
I'm gonna chill for you for like a month."
Yeah,
Like me
yeah.
and Santa are hanging out.
Like listen,
he gives me gifts
right,
and shit.
right. Like he lets me fucking steer the sleigh.
right, right.
And then he fucking shows me like, hey, if you touch your penis, it feels pretty good.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, but if you're 7 years old, like you just know that it feels good.
Yeah.
It-
Big up, Santa. Thanks for the tip.
Right? Yeah. Thanks for
Let's
the
keep
tip.
those gifts coming.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So, like you could get easily sucked into that.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why I sounded like Mark Wahlberg through that whole
I don't know
thing.
either. I don't either.
Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's very interesting. It opened my mind to a lot of things, and I'm grateful to it for that.
Yes.
I'm still.
I mean,
more.
what a fucked up thing to have your mind opened up to, by the way. What a world
I
we
think
live
it's-
in.
I think it's more the opening my mind to the possibility. And here's the other thing too. Like I said, well, if Macaulay Culkin or all these other kids
Sure.
are saying that nothing ever happened, then nothing happened, right?
Or maybe it just didn't happen to them.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And that was something else that like they talked about a little bit in this movie because there were a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a big kid.
Yeah. But
And-
but here's the thing. Like, look at it from the perspective. Like, Wade Robson is big now.
Yeah.
But he wasn't then.
Well, he
He's-
was in the 90s, like when all this like blew up, like when he had to go to court for
Right, but
Michael,
before
like,
that, before it happened, though. Like,
oh,
Macaulay
yeah,
Culkin.
they were 5, 6, 12 years old.
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
But
that.
Macaulay Culkin and Feldman were big. Like they had their own.
But you mean like
juice-
big as in like celebrities?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm, yep.
Like that's like that is.
Yeah.
Let's call that a bigger target.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And not for nothing. Like, who's to say? Like he
kid had clout.
He did. He was a big child, and he did want to hang out with other little boys because
Yeah.
that's how he felt, and those were the people who he related to. But he also did this thing to some because, like, listen, back when I was single, I had a lot of friends that were females, and I didn't necessarily date all of them. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same. You have a lot of friends, and some you do things with, and some you don't. And I get that now. Like, just because he was a pedophile doesn't mean he touched every kid.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Weird to say out loud, but I get the argument. I do. I absolutely do.
But that's not something I ever put into that kind of perspective before. Just because he didn't do it with all doesn't mean he didn't do it with some.
yes, yes. Like it was an all or nothing sum in your head.
Yeah.
Until it's like, oh my god, like he could be both.
Yeah.
Both of these stories could be 100% true. One does not
Could be
preclude the other. You can
Exactly.
believe Corey Feldman
Exactly.
and also believe Wade Robson.
Exactly.
And both of those things are parallel truths.
Because maybe to him he never saw anything. Maybe Corey Feldman, nothing happened to him, and he never saw anything. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Yes.
To Wade.
Yes.
Yeah. Wade's reality.
Yes.
Was different from Corey Feldman's.
Corey Feldman's existence does not preclude Wade Robson's experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So can I tell you where I was at now? And I'll tell you the experience today.
Okay.
So I still use an iPod in my car because I drive a real new ride.
Sure.
I don't.
No.
And it went out. Like it's
Your
like
iPod went out.
Yeah, it's a 12-year-old iPod.
Did it die?
Like, it didn't die, but like the battery is dying on it. Anyways,
Okay.
so I was forced to listen to the radio again while I recharge it. Actually, it's recharging right in front of us right now. I was forced to listen to the radio again, and a Michael Jackson song came on, and I couldn't listen to it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't. I wanted to, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love this song. Oh, it's tainted, and everything is terrible.
Yeah.
But I love that groove. I like
Yeah.
that groove. Fuck, I gotta change
Yeah.
the station.
We've had conversations about, like, I think it was after. We've had conversations about it was after the Kevin Spacey's thing. Can you separate the artist and the art? The person and the artist. Like, is it,
Did you see Pete Davidson's hot take
I did
on
not.
this? He had a really cool thing. Like, so he opened it up with a joke about the Catholic Church.
Opened what up?
He did a little weekend update thing.
Oh, did he?
On this
Okay.
specifically,
Oh,
like
shit.
Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can hate on Michael Jackson, but you're still going to mass on Saturday.
Right.
Like, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm gonna go listen to the Ignition remix.
Right.
Like, this, which got him got him booed audibly. Actually, by the
Really?
crowd. Yeah.
Well,
He got in a little trouble for it, but not an unfair comparison.
I say things I get in trouble for all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
I don't care.
Anyways, but he was like, he had a very interesting take on it. He was like, you know what? Like, art and artists are two different things. Like, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, like, the things I say right this second may be terrible and controversial, and you may never be able to listen to me again.
Mhm.
I don't know they're terrible and controversial
Right.
now, but like, there's nuance to a lot of this thing. He's like, so the best thing I can say is if you happen to want to listen to a song, like, donate $1 every time you listen to a song to a children's charity
It's true.
that makes the lives a little bit better, and maybe that'll even it out. I don't
Yeah.
know. Find your own fucking path.
Well, you
into
said
it.
something over the weekend that I found interesting. Like, you said you won't watch a particular movie on a streaming service because that person may still get paid,
Yes.
but you own the disc so you can watch the shit out of it without them making any money.
Yeah.
And will you, is my question.
I don't know. Do
you
I
need
haven't
more
since.
time?
I don't know.
Can you? I don't know.
That's the thing. I have no idea. I
Yeah.
don't know the answer to that question.
Mhm.
I don't know if I can watch a Kevin Spacey movie on disc without seeing it.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I can fucking watch Moon, and he only provides a voice in that movie.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can watch Ants. I don't know, like, what my limits are with it. Yeah, Pixar.
So wait, I've watched Ants.
Not
since then.
Ants. I'm sorry. Bugs Life.
Bugs Life. I've watched A Bug's Life since then,
Yeah.
and it was a little weird.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it the entire time, but when he talked, it was Kevin Spacey, and then there was this like asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
Just like this mental asterisk. I didn't think about it. Like I didn't. Just,
It
but
is.
it was there.
It's the asterisk next to the fucking Sammy Sosa hitting record. It's
exactly what it is.
Yeah, like
it's exactly what it is.
It's just fucking tainted.
It's just tainted.
It's just
And
tainted
it's
now.
the slightest bit of a taint.
It's funny to use asterisk and taint in the same sentence. But it's
See,
true.
listen, we're talking about serious shit. We still got to be us.
Yeah.
But it is slightly tainted a little bit to where you just kind of go. It's not as
It's
enjoyable.
unsettling.
I wouldn't even say it's just a smidge unsettling. I can't explain. It's
it's definitely
like
more
this
than a
little
smidge for me.
That's fine. But watching A Bug's Life, just hearing it was like I watched the start, but there was just little.
It's like a splinter in the fucking
Yes.
art. Like it's there. It
Yeah.
hurts. You can't pull it out, and it's just. You know, you can try and ignore it, but it won't go away, and
Yeah.
it's just there, and it taints.
It's like when you work out for the first time in 5 years, and you're still kind of hurting, like 4 days later. You can move, right? You can move, but you're still kind of a little bit
I
uncomfortable.
still feel it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's in my bones.
like you don't remember, like you don't like the workout is there, but you're still far enough away where you feel fat again,
Yeah.
but you're still just kind of,
Oh,
you know,
dude.
just a little bit slower getting out of your chair.
So I guess my answer is like clearly it has affected me.
Yeah,
It has affected me.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a permanent thing. I will land
Yeah,
on it. Like I think there's a real organic thing to this. Like
yeah.
I don't know what the rules are
No.
here. There aren't rules. There isn't a guidebook I can look to how to feel
It's funny
about
too.
this.
It really it feels like, what do you think has changed over the past 20 years? Because like it's why is it all of a sudden that people are starting to speak up, that we're really starting to see behind the curtain of like these D-bags
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson and Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein? Like 20 years ago, like things like this just didn't come out. I'm sure they were still happening. Well, obviously they were happening because that's the time that these accusations were but why are people talking about it now? Why is it a thing now?
Is it a byproduct of the information age?
It might be. I think it might be.
Like, do you just believe people, or do you just? I think you're just willing to understand and accept that this is an actual thing. This isn't something that's like, the crazy person, that one crazy dude in your group that talks about as like a weird conspiracy theory. Like your circle has broadened to the point where you have access to a plethora of information. And for all the shitty things I hate about the information age, and there are a great deal.
I was going to say, what do you hate about the information age?
Fucking all the dumb shit people pass off as actual reality.
Right. True. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Understand. Yeah. No.
For every woke, decent human being that happens now, I get one fucking flat earther to counterbalance it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
they're yeah, you're right. You're right. There, it's like the internet, social media, the information age has given people courage to stand up because there's some equally crazy person in bumfuck Idaho who feels the same exact way, and that gives you validation.
Yes.
So here we go. Opening up that circle.
You can speak your truth. Whatever your truth happens to be.
And there's somebody out there that will believe you.
Yes.
Whereas back in the day, there might not be anybody who would believe you.
Because you just couldn't speak your truth loud
enough.
It's
true. You know what? Speak your truth.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Unless it's wrong, and I hate it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And we're way over, so we're going to end it short. Does this fall under pop culture today? I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about a documentary that the rest of the world was talking about. This is fully in pop culture.
Like serious talk.
You can talk seriously about. We have a friend that has a doctorate in pop culture. You can have serious conversations about pop culture.
Yeah, I don't know if that's our brand, though. I hope people are still listening. And I hope they're not mad at me.
I thought it was engaging-ish.
Yeah?
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Well, I enjoyed it, too.
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
Yeah.
because we enjoy talking to each other
Yes.
sometimes.
Ish.
Ish.
All right, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Later.